Well, hello everybody, it's Aaron. Welcome back to the channel. It's a day that ends in Y, so it's windy here in Oklahoma. I finally bought a new chainsaw. It's a Stihl MS261. So the one thing about this chainsaw, the starting procedure, you pull the trigger and slide this down and then let go of the trigger. They didn't tell me that at the shop. And they handle all the warranty stuff. I didn't get it in a box or anything. It was on the shelf and I said I want this one, and he made sure it started, and then I brought it home. I think it's a 50cc saw. It's got a 20-inch bar. I've made 3 cuts with it. It's a beast. So as it is windy today, I'm just going to set it up on the tripod and take down that tree back there, and hopefully I'll have some usable footage, and then I'll give you my thoughts when I'm done with it. Oh, also disclaimer, wear proper safety gear. I'm not. As an example of what not to do, I got fat during quarantine and none of my clothes fit anymore, so I kind of just threw something on. Okay, so first impression, I love it. That chainsaw it's a monster. I don't even think I ran it wide open, and it had no problem cutting through any of that stuff. I've been using a Husky for the last couple of years, and I know it's like Ford versus Chevy, Husky versus Stihl. I like this particular Stihl better than the Husky that I was using. I'll just say that. I did a lot of reading, I did a lot of research. I had some conversations with Jeremy TV, who, even though we've never actually met, I consider a friend. We talk about tractor stuff and chainsaws and, you know, all that good stuff. Go to his channel if you haven't. He does a lot of tractoring and stuff. But anyway, I did a lot of reading, and I was gonna get, I think, the MS311. I was looking at that. I was looking at the Farm Boss and the Husky 455 Rancher and all of these things. I found a message board where they were talking about how the 261 is a pro saw. It's like 3 pounds lighter than the 311, but otherwise they're comparable. And so over the course of, I don't know, the last hour and a half, I mean, 3 pounds on a chainsaw makes a difference. Now, I am not an arborist. I am not a professional chainsawman, chainsaw person. I am a guy who has a few acres, and I've got about 80 trees with branches down right now, maybe more. I've been using a chainsaw or multiple chainsaws since I was 16 or 17. Not very often, but you know, I've been using them for the majority of my life. However, I have felled more trees with an axe than with a chainsaw. So this is just my opinion. If you want to see, this is shout out day, I guess. If you want to see real chainsawing stuff, look at Buck and Billy Ray Smith. He's Canadian, he's wholesome AF, like really nice, happy dude. He's really good at like climbing and felling, and I mean, that's what he does for a living. So I don't know if he has any how-tos, but you can learn a lot because he explains why he's doing what he's doing for a particular situation. So you can pick up some good tips. Me, I've got to take down some much bigger trees in the future. I got to go help my neighbor take down one that's probably, I don't know, 40, 50 feet tall, you know, a couple 3 feet across. I don't really remember, but it's dead and it's going in my fireplace next winter. So that saw, I love it. It's great. I did bind up the chain. I got a wood chip in there, so I had to take it apart. The thing I love about the saw the most is the screws on the case on the side. They don't, to take the chain off, they don't, like, they're connected to the body of it. You can't lose them. If you lose them, you lose the whole cover. So I really like that. I wish it had come with a tool. I had to go get a socket. I probably have one somewhere. The bad thing about the saw is the Husky, to turn it off, it's thumb down. This one is thumb up. So I found myself multiple times doing thumb down to turn it off and having to come back up. So my opinion, it would be more ergonomic to thumb down, shut the thing off. So that thing's done. It's ready to go to the tractor, or if I decide to have a burn pile or, you know, whatever, I was gonna chip some of it. I don't know what kind of tree that is, but it's sappier than a 98 Degrees song. And I made the mistake of leaning on it with one hand, and now my hands, I washed them, but I still have a little bit, but man, that stuff is sticky. You can't touch anything without everything sticking. So I hope I got some usable footage out of all of that. And I'm probably going to either do time lapses or some sort of video for when we have to fell the trees. Because I mean, some people like that stuff. There's not going to be any explanation. It's not a how-to. Like I said, I'm not a professional. I just know the mechanics and the physics of it, and I've done it a few times. Speaking of, I've seen a couple of videos recently. I'm not going to call anybody out, but I'm surprised that people didn't get seriously injured. So if you're going to take down a tree, if you're going to chainsaw a tree down, or even with an axe, you really need to, I mean, you can wing it, but I was going to say, you really need to know what you're doing. You really need to know the basics of how to judge which way a tree is going to fall by the way it's leaning. You need to know how to use the wedges if you're going to use wedges. And you need to take your time most of all, because it's not going anywhere, and well, until it falls. But when you rush through something like that, that's when you make mistakes. And if you say, I hope it goes the way I want it to, or if you're thinking that to yourself, walk away. Go to the Stihl or the Husqvarna YouTube sites, because they have very extensively detailed videos about how to fell a tree with or without a chainsaw. So I hope it goes the way I want should not be something that you say when you're gonna knock a tree down. That's just my opinion. So I'm gonna leave it there. I've got some other work to do, some other branches to clean up, and some other things that I'm really not looking forward to. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed whatever montage I magically edited together of the chainsawing. And if you have an opinion about Stihl versus Husqvarna or particular saws, if you have a 261, let me know what you think about it, and if there's anything that I can do to better my experience besides wearing steel-toed boots, chainsaw chaps, and some sort of face protection. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.